Okay, everyone, I am here. I am going live, but this is such a different setup for me because I'm trying to do it with a high quality audio and with some music in the background, and I'm trying to get this recorded so that I can have all of these and be able to work with them. So it took me a while to get on here and be able to do this. This is my first time doing this setup, so if you have any audio issues or if you have any visual issues, let me know because I want this to be high quality. So I'm so glad you're all joining. This is so nice. So the reason I'm also doing this was because I kind of wanted to try sharing my screen. Okay. So I decided for this segment, because we only have an hour together, that I was gonna spend the beginning of it doing a student highlight and showing you all the latest students that have been joining us and kind of sharing their stories. And then I got some really amazing submissions, so I tried to put them in a slideshow and show them on this live window, but hopefully the resolution looks good. So we'll try it out. Okay, let's see if this is gonna work out. So I'm gonna share my screen. I know, sharing my screen on Instagram, isn't that crazy? Let's see. Share. Okay, so let's see what you guys see. I'm trying to also join my own live so I can see what you. Oh, you guys are seeing it horizontal like that. That's crazy. Okay, well that's actually better for me because then I can have more control and show you guys a big picture. Okay, so this student joined us last month, and I just wanted to share with you guys some of the introductions because it's just so nice that everyone is very similar and I feel like you guys would kind of get I don't know. I think it's so nice to meet people. So I'm gonna share this. She said, "Aloha, my name is Danielle, and I live on Maui, where I currently offer microblading and tooth gems. I work in an all-female tattoo studio and beauty studio. We regularly host pop-ups. Basically, she goes, my long-term goals are to excel in tiny tattoos and apply these techniques and trainings that I can gain from and, do my fine line tattooing. Will allow me to eventually offer advanced services such as nano brows. So I just thought it was super cute that she submitted a picture of her and she works in Hawaii and she does all these other services and she's super excited to also offer fine line tattooing, which I think is going to be really good for her business. So that is Danielle. Welcome, welcome. She joined last month. And then this person submitted this I think today or yesterday. She says, "Hello, my name is Sonia. I'm 37. I'm married with an amazing husband. We have 4 kids and we are hoping for one more. I'm an artist. I work primarily with oil paints. I have always been interested in tattoos, but have had such a fear of messing up. I figured tiny tattoos would be such an amazing start." So I wanted to share 5 student highlights because each student I felt like I resonated with. So the first one, she was offering a bunch of services and she wanted to add fine line tattooing because she's like, okay, this is gonna really help my business, and I think that's obviously a very rational thought, and I'm glad she's going for it. The second student is an oil painter, and she obviously wants to take the talent that she has as far as being creative and already knowing how to paint and translate that into doing tattoos, which I think is really awesome. And then over here we have she didn't leave her name, I don't think, but she's very beautiful. Just joined the Tiny Tattoo course. I'm nervous but excited. So this is a very normal feeling to have. If you joined and you're nervous but you're excited. But it's so nice that people say that, but that also means that they got over that fear of starting. So that's really good. I'm a licensed esthetician and I have been looking for something fun to add to my service list. I love drawing and painting in my free time, so I thought this could be a fun opportunity to learn something new. So we have an oil painter, an esthetician, and somebody that does like a multitude of services. So it's just so nice seeing the type of artists that join the class. This one I really resonated with. She goes, "Hello, my name is Irene. I'm an artist studying to become an art professor or to teach high school students. I enjoy all forms of art, including painting, ceramics, crochet, scrapbooking. I love exploring different styles and aesthetics and recreating characters in my style, such as Animal Crossing villagers and Pokemon characters." Which I think this is so cute because like a lot of the apprentices that come actually like join our shop are people who are video game fans and Pokemon fans and different things like that. So like it's just cool that there's a cross target audience with everybody who likes anime and generally they'll like to tattoos. So it's like there's a crossing right there. So I just thought this was a really cute introduction and I wanted to highlight it because it's somebody younger. And these are all students that you guys can probably relate to. And then this person submitted here. And I thought this was really cute because I'm also an immigrant and she expressed that she's moving from London and she's having like a lot of emotional feelings about having to start all over. She's located in Texas now. So I wanted to highlight her story as well. She just said that art is something that helped her get through like tough times in her life. And it's something that I think helps a lot of people get through tough times in their life. So I think a lot of people really do take on this class as a form of like emotional well being too, which is like really nice to pick up a new art form and like practice at home, whether it's like learning how to sew or painting or learning how to tattoo. I think it's like a really good thing to do to really distract your mind off of things. And also like she felt like this class is bringing her some sort of peace and into like a new journey. So I'm so grateful that we get to help all these different types of women out. And these are just 5 submissions that I grabbed that were recently submitted last month. So like there's a multitude of people in there. I just wanted to share these because I felt like you guys can relate to them. And so, what's it called? That's for the student highlight. The next thing I wanted to do before we get into the segment where I'm actually gonna do a tattoo with you guys, someone submitted a really nice tattoo, but I wanted to show you guys how I'm gonna make it better. So stick around for after we do the student highlights to see, me tattooing with you guys. Um, I have my setup here and I'm gonna like do it along and answer your questions as I, move forward. The next thing I wanted to do is show you guys examples of work that gets accepted in the class. Like a lot of people take the class, but they don't finish it or are scared to finish it or they can't finish it because their final project does not get approved. So in the past 2 months, I went through all the submissions we got and I selected like my favorite final assignments so that we could I could share with you guys what we liked about them and like how to replicate something nice like that. So the first thing, this was a submission from a student. She did an amazing job. She actually went through and like filed for her license. I kept up with her on Instagram and she was just so polite and so hopeful that she did like an amazing job with her final project. And she's been like working on getting an apprenticeship. She's doing all the right things. And this is her final assignment. So I do see that someone in the chat is like asking questions. I will get to those like at the end of the live, but basically with this homework assignment, I wanted to highlight how amazing her detailing is. Her stipple shading looks so good. Like if you pay attention to the gradients she's building in the submarine and the creativity of the design overall looks up to par. She's not rushing the details, she's not rushing the design. You can tell that she really paid attention to like executing the artwork on its own, like on Procreate, and then she took it over and she made every piece of the like tentacles coming out and everything. She made sure to give things the proper texture, the proper shading. So she was able to practice her tattooing technique enough to where it translated into a good tattoo at the very end. But I do want to express that this was not her first submission. This was her third submission. So, like, don't get discouraged if you get your homework sent back to you and then you have to resubmit it because like by the third time maybe you'll submit something really amazing like she did and it gives you so much confidence to say like, hey, you know, I can do this. Okay, the second assignment I want to highlight is this one. And sorry guys, if you didn't leave your name on the homework assignment, it's hard for me to like put it in there. I'll do a better job at that next time. But this student did a really good job at making sure that all the lines in the fine line tattoo, like if I zoom in for you, like so, like all her lines don't look like multiple lines. She didn't have a lot of streaking. She also doesn't have a lot of shakiness, and every line looks purposeful. Even though these are simple designs, they're well executed designs. So I always try to say, like, just because a design is small or because a client walked through the door and they wanted like a small tattoo or fine line tattoo, that doesn't mean that they want a crappy tattoo. So a lot of people like mistake fine lines and smaller tattoos with something that's like easy or something that has room to be crappy. But like just because something is small or um sorry, just because something is small or fine line doesn't mean that there's more room for error. It means that there's less room for error. It doesn't mean you have to practice less because it's small. It means you have to practice more because there's less room for error because it's small. So I just want to make that clear because a lot of people join this class because they're like, oh, it's just small tattoos. They're going to be easier. It's not true. Like, you do need to show that you're able to have full control over your machine when you're practicing. And, you know, show proper results like this. So I think this was a good one to highlight. So thank you for getting that in. And everybody that I'm showing was able to get their certificate based on these submissions. So if you do want to graduate and have something to show for the class, submit something in similar quality. This one blew my mind. Like this one literally blew my mind. This was a NanoBrow student. She did leave her name in here, so let me try to grab it. I think did she leave her name? She did not attach her name on the sheet, but I think it. God, I tried to remember it because I was just blown away with her work. I hope she sees this. This is the NanoBrow class, and this was the submission that she grabbed. She did a wonderful job with the patterns. She did a wonderful job with shading, the value, the shape. Like she obviously did a stunning job with the NanoBrow submission, and I am so happy that she was able to get this far just in our class. Again, like this literally is advanced level, and I'm so happy she was able to get that far. This student submitted this practice from the eyeliner class, the eyeliner enhancement class. And basically the eyeliner enhancement class, we teach you how to color pack with a 1-round liner, which is a hard skill to do, especially on delicate skin like the eyelid. So if eyeliner or eyelash enhancement is something that you want to do, this is a really good class to teach you how to color pack and how to get these solid fills with just like a 1-round liner. And this was like passing work for practice. Again, all these students can go like get an apprenticeship or work under a mentor or, you know, start taking maybe like family members or whatever and getting small steps forward. But, you know, it does take practicing and submitting your work, getting feedback, getting that confidence, doing a small tattoo, getting an apprenticeship to work your way up to be able to like make really good money as a tattoo artist. So if your goal is to be like a well-paid tattoo artist, then this is a really clear path that you can follow, and it's just a path that never existed like 5 years ago. So, yeah, I'm so happy to be here for you guys, and I hope you guys are taking advantage of it. So, I thought this final project was so cute and so organized. She made sure to like tell us which needles she was using for each tattoo. And every single part of this was executed so well. So, like this is a kind of cleanliness I, as a Virgo, love to see when the students submit this like organized, labeled final project. Then I can thoroughly look at it and give you guys feedback and like know that you guys are home and practicing in a way that you're putting in so much effort. You're not overlooking any details. All the lines look crispy. Like the fact that she's able to get this font perfectly saturated with, you can tell this wouldn't blow out on skin. You can tell her depth is great. This circle looks perfect. Like she really worked really hard on this. And this one is by Stephanie Hamilton. Amazing job. I was so happy to see this. So good job, Stephanie. I wanted to show you guys some passing work. So to motivate you and to show you like what our expectations are. And then let's see. This one is the homework assignment that didn't pass, but it looks so good. And I wanted to redo it with you guys here. So let me zoom in so you guys can like take a screenshot and kind of see what we're gonna do together right now. So I'm also gonna pull it up right here on my iPad so that I'm able to see it as well. And by the way, this is a good time while I'm like loading the second part of the segment before we practice together. If you have any questions or anything, this is a good time to ask. Or like just say hi or something, or say something so I know that you're entertained. Okay. I'm super scared. Why are you scared? I'm trying to practice while I watch and listen. Okay, that's good. Okay, this submission is by Crystal. And I have it pulled up on my iPad now, so that's good. And now I am gonna stop screen sharing. By the way, do you guys like my new setup? Like with the whole like, does this audio make a difference for you? Because I'm using a really fancy microphone, so I don't know if it makes a huge difference for the listeners. And I also I know that it's not the full screen, so I don't know if you guys want me to do this again, but it's nice that I'm able to share my screen. Okay, let me stop screen sharing. Also, do you hear the music in the background or no? Okay. Let's see. I bought the course and everything, but I didn't come with ink. So do you have a couple of suggestions for the ink? I always wonder what ink. Oh, maybe I mean it usually our kits do come with ink. I don't know if yours was missing ink, but the ink we usually provide is a dynamic ink and it looks like this. Okay. Okay, it looks like we don't have so many questions, so I can get started and we could do some practice together, which I'm so excited to do. And this is like, I should probably keep this up so you guys can see too. No, it's kind of difficult to do that. My bad. We're not going to be able to keep that up, but we will work on it. Okay, let me minimize this. And Okay. Let me kind of turn off this AI tracking feature. Do like that, and then zoom. Okay, so this is the homework assignment that I want to correct. I'll probably leave it right there. For some reason it was missing. I am so sorry. So, how does that look? I think that looks pretty good. Okay. So with the pumpkin, like, I do like it. The only thing is, I will say, is like, when you really zoom in on the lines right here, I feel like they're good, but some of them are streaking and some of the detail is off. So, like, the shading in the mouth and the shading in the eyes, and like, overall, it's nice. It just could be so much better. So I do want to redo this tattoo with you guys live right now, and it really won't take that long, and show you guys like what we could do to improve it. So for something like that, if you know how to draw, honestly, you don't need to print a stencil all over again. Especially if you're just practicing, if you could just get it on the, maybe practice your drawing on here and be able to get it on there. Because you know what, even if you are a good tattoo artist, you sometimes lose your stencil, and if you can't draw, you end up relying on your stencil a little bit too much. So I always think it's a good idea to always just practice your freehanding. And this is a really easy illustration, so you should be able to just get something on there, even if it doesn't look, perfect or whatever. And it's, if you don't have a stencil maker when you first start out, don't let that hinder you from getting some designs on there. And if you hate it, just you can always erase and redo it. And I'm making mine a little bit smaller than hers because I don't want to spend like a year and a half on it. Okay, there we go. We have something on there, and then I thought this was a really good seasonal tattoo to do as well, because it's almost Halloween. I feel like Halloween is every tattoo artist's favorite holiday. Okay, so we have some of that on there, and now we just gotta finish up the hat. we got this guy's face on here, and let me know if it is clear enough or if it's too light. So if you can't see, let me know. Well, on my screen, I think it looks pretty clear. So, okay, you have something like this on your, let's see, this guy. All right, it looks good. So how are we gonna start this? We're gonna do this tattoo together. It'll be pretty quick, and I am excited. So what I have with me, because I don't have Glide with me at home, I have literally my cellar water, this guy. It works. I tested it last time on a live, and it works, so. Okay, let me grab some needles. Let's see what we have here. I have like a... Okay, these are 5s. A 5 is going to be good for like maybe the fill, the bigger fills. So we'll leave a 5 out here. So we'll do a 5. And then we don't need to use a 1. I'm looking for a 3 right now. So let's see. If I can find a 3. So I really, really love these new masked Ocean Heart needles that we use. And by the way, if you guys don't like the quality on Instagram, I am also live streaming right now on YouTube. So you should be able to see the same stream on YouTube. I was trying to get it to where I can stream on TikTok too, but TikTok is like annoying about their streaming from other platforms. So I couldn't do it today, but hopefully in the future. But okay, so I have a 3. And I have a 5. So what she did here is she started off by doing a thick line around, which is good, but it's a little bit boring. So I think what we're gonna do with the hat is make some parts like give it some contrast and give it some shading. Maybe make the metal buckle look like a buckle. Maybe we'll focus on adding some metal texture. Maybe we will focus on giving the ripples some shading and giving some shading to the bottom part of this hat to give it some depth. We'll keep this outlined. We'll probably do it with a tight 5, so that's going to be okay. And then for the lighting around like the teeth right here, I think she placed the lighting in the right spots, but like it's not well done. So we're going to see how we're going to place the lighting, but in a way that's more patient so that you get a better result. By the way, I don't know, like I guess Friday night is kind of the night where no one is working, right? But this is the day where my husband's at home at work all day. So he's not home and I can just like go live and record and feel very comfortable. So I think I will continue to make this like a Friday thing, but we'll see. Alrighty, I have these really cute like ink cup holders. These are from Minx. So I always put my ink cup holder on the right of like I'm right-handed, so I like to dip like with my right hand. And then today I'm going to be using the new Y22 machine. It was sent to try out by Mast, and I really do love them. They're good machines. I was going to either include this or the P60 in the new kits last year, but I felt like the P60 was cuter and adjustable stroke. So I was like, okay, I'll just stick with the P60. So there's the 3. And here we have the 5. I'm actually going to start with the 5. All right, so to line, I'm going to do a small live demo for you guys. And there are so many more demos in the class and in the app. Oh, this machine's a lot louder than the P60. She's mad. Okay. So sometimes when I'm starting out, like I don't directly start. Hold on, let me make sure the cartridge is in all the way because I don't like the way that sounds. I guess she just sounds like that. Okay, yeah, so if you have like a little ball at the end, you just kind of like tap it and let it drain into the paper towel before you go in so that you don't get like a huge mud puddle. Okay. So I'm gonna try to twist it so you guys see what I'm doing. Have this hole face your chest. And I talk about that a lot in my sorry, let me fix the microphone. I do talk about that a lot in my modules and stuff. I'm always trying to tell you guys how to make sure that you're holding everything. So if it puddles a little bit, like don't be scared. You just want to get that line in there. And then to wipe, what you can do to like not make a huge mess is just like tap it and just like get it on the paper towel like that. And so what you want to practice doing is lining in a way where you're not shaking all over the place. And you can like twist the paper. I'm mainly twisting it because I want you guys to see clearly. Because I know sometimes my hand blocks the line and you can't see anything. Also, before you pull like any line, you want to make sure that your ink cartridge is full. And if it's like spitting like that, sometimes that's normal. You want to avoid it, but sometimes it just happens, especially when you're tattooing like the desk underneath here is wood and it's a hard surface. Need this. Is there any trips to determine how much pressure to apply? Oh, you mean tips? So I typically always say like, I don't put more than, let's see. Like, I literally don't put more than this much in it. Like the very, very tip. Oop. All right, so we have that on. Now let me actually go ahead and do the mouth. And with these lines, because it's just like, it's not a traditional tattoo, but it's not sort of like a, I'm trying to pull the lines to where like you guys can see them. I have to pull them towards you so you can see them. And the machine is running at a 7.5. Okay. And so just tap for now, because I don't want to, like, even if everything isn't perfect for now, like, just tap it in. And your hand speed and the speed of the machine have to be like friends. You can't be moving at completely different pace. Okay, now let's get the hat in place. And then we can honestly, too, what you can do before you keep going, and this is something, is just get a little bit of like green soap or something and erase a little bit of your line and see how it's looking, just to see if like one bit is good. And I just did the tip and my lines look pretty good, but if yours don't, adjust your settings to like where you're happy before you like line the whole thing, you know? Because you don't want to go back over it too much. It's going to take forever and it's going to make your work look crappy. For the buckle, because the buckle is super small, I'm not going to do the buckle first. I'm just going to leave the buckle for the 3. You don't have to use the same needle for everything. And if that happens, it's totally cool because you're about to like finish all like outlining all of it. So it's okay if it gets dirty like towards the end. Just gonna do his little nostrils actually. Just give it a little shape. I didn't fully like make an outline around them. I just kind of shaded them in. All right, so something like that. So basically, it looks like you were going so fast. How are you able to saturate the line and move at that speed? So it's a pretty high speed. It's like a 7 volt, so that's like a pretty medium speed, and just consistent depth. But let's see if my saturation was even good. Like, let's see what happened. Also, it's silicone skin, and silicone skin saturates a lot faster than like human skin, but I would say my saturation was pretty good. It's just about practicing. You have to practice and then you become better somehow. It's just like tattoo magic. Because it does look pretty well saturated and the lines don't look wonky. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is switch to your favorite 3, and this is also a PMU needle. So this needle could be used for like fine line tattoos or for permanent makeup. Now that I switched to a 3, and this is really important, so if you're in the class, pay attention. You want to turn down the speed a little bit, because if you use a 3 at this speed, what's going to happen is you might blow out the client's tattoo without realizing it. So just kind of like, the machine can't sound this aggressive if you're using like a 1 or a 3, because you're just going to blow things out. Unless you have complete control over your depth, then you're going to be fine. So now a 3 has less needles in it, so I can't move my hand as fast like I was with the 5. With the 5, I had really awesome ink flow. I had a big needle. I was able to just get those lines in there like boop, boop, boop. I'm struggling with the shaky looking lines and it feels like I'm pulling at the silicone. You just gotta practice. That's literally what this is for. Line work practice sheet. You can't do any of this before you do really good of these. By the way, I'm having so much fun drawing this, so if you're having fun too, I'm happy. Okay, so there's that. Okay, let's see what that looks like. So again, yeah, 5 has way more needles, so you can go a little bit faster and get that saturation in, but a 3 only has 3 needles and it's sharp. So you're not going to be able to like move super fast. Unless you're experienced, then you can, you know? There's really no rules with tattooing. It's all about how comfortable you are with the machine. And ideally, every year, you're just going to get more and more comfortable. It's going to happen, I promise. Green soap doesn't come in the ink kits. No, because it's going to spill everywhere. And I don't even have ink soap right now. I'm improvising. I'm using Garnier micellar water. I'm using my cleanser. Okay, so this is the fun part, okay? I'm gonna kind of go back and show you. Yeah, dude, you can use a baby wipe, you can use Vaseline, you can use a million things. But I wanna go back and talk about this student submission right here. So we were able to lay down the lines, but just like a little bit more confidently. So hers still looks better because it's like complete. But our start is just like a little bit more confident. I'm trying to be able to show you guys both of these like side by side. Okay. Hers is a lot bigger too, so not that much bigger, but it's bigger. So now for these things, I'm just going to try to make them a little bit more intentional, and we're going to talk about when you're doing a fine line tattoo, what you want to do is think about like, okay, what am I tattooing? This is fabric. This is metal. This is pumpkin. Where are the shadows? Like if a person was, oh, I forgot to put this guy's little like, I'll do that right now. So yeah, if your stencil fades, if you don't know how to draw, you'll just be so scared to like put this line in. That's why you need to practice drawing so you can like be able to look at it and just, cause like my stencil, the little details are gone, but like they're easy. So you should have the confidence to be like, oh, okay, like I know where everything goes. Let's see. What was I saying? Okay, texture and movement. So yeah, everything just has to be a tiny bit more intentional. She did a really good job. I'm trying to fine tune it to show you guys like all the little things that we're gonna pay attention to. Quick question. When are you going to stock up on more blank silicone skin sheets? I think we placed the order like not too long ago, so they should be here soon, but I'll ask later and see when they're gonna be in stock because I'm not the one that does all that stuff, honestly. So I'll see. Okay, so this is the fun part. Now for the eyes, we can choose. We can decide, okay, do we want them to be all hollow? All like completely blacked out? Or do we want a little bit of like gradient? I think we're gonna do a little bit of gradient in the eyes. I think I'm gonna black out the entire mouth. But first, I want to put the tiny little details in. I think I want to start with doing the texture of the pumpkin. And it really shouldn't take like a huge effort. So at first, what I'm going to do is start by lining. Let me position it to where you guys can see. So I'm gonna start by like adding some of the lines that she had. I wish I can like post the picture up and keep it on the screen. But technology is not up to date, you guys. Okay, so we have some of these lines on here. Let's see what that looks like. I can't see everything. It's really zoomed in for me. Wait, what? What do you mean? Is it still super zoomed in? Because I'm watching this live from my phone too. So I'm like I'm also in the audience. It looks good for me. Does it look good for everybody? Okay, so because I went a little bit faster, these lines were like in, but they're not as black as all the other ones, which is good, which is what I wanted. It looks normal to me. Yeah. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is just a little stretched. Yeah, cuz like okay, sorry. I'm going to try to improve my settings. I was on it's zoomed in for me as well. Oh no. Oh, so are some people the ones that say it's zoomed in for me? Are you seeing a vertical view or a horizontal view? Because I think for me, I'm seeing a horizontal view. If you're seeing a vertical view, I'm assuming that it is going to be insanely. I sent you a pic. All right, let me go check that out. Oh, okay. Yeah. Some people are seeing a vertical view. That's really interesting. So some people like me are seeing a horizontal view and some people are seeing a vertical view. So that's an Instagram issue. I was on customer service with the streaming app that I'm using and I was like asking them on why hmm. Sorry, all my technologies are bugging out today. It's like Mercury retrograde. Okay. Oh, I just want a tattoo, damn it. Okay. Yeah, there's gonna be really like no way that I can Okay, yeah, my music just turned off, dude, and I'm so mad because I hate tattooing without music. Damn it, this life sucks. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna do this horizontally because the video that I have is horizontally. But if you want to see it not so bad, oh, is Mercury really in Metro? I literally said retrograde. Retrograde. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, dude. Fuck Mercury. I hope Mercury spins out of the I'm just joking. That would like cause chaos, but whatever. If you want to watch this without me tripping out, just go to YouTube. I'm live streaming on YouTube, and YouTube was way better for freaking anything than Instagram. Now Instagram is gonna hex me, but whatever. Anyway, I'm just gonna tattoo. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that Mercury is in Gatorade. Okay. I'm gonna put my machine like all the way down to like a 4.8, and we're gonna start shading. So I have the 3-round liner on, and we are shading. Let me, oh yay, my music is not acting up. Come on, Mercury. Whatever. Okay, so I really liked what she did with the lighting, like in here. What you want to do when you start shading so you don't mess everything up is retract it in a little bit. You don't want to start shading when she's like sticking out all the way. So retract it in a little, and then we're gonna start intentionally like go around the mouth, but don't hit the mouth. So we're gonna create little pixels, and we're gonna shade up. Now this is gonna really make your tattoos, so you really don't want to mess this part up, because we kind of, like, I'm not gonna lie, I sort of popped everything in as far as like establishing it, but I wasn't really paying attention. Like, I just kind of rushed it. But this part, if you rush this part, it's gonna look like crap. So out of all the parts, like when you're shading, this isn't the part you rely on to fix the tattoo, because a lot of tattoo artists like rely on the shading to kind of give the tattoo. Oh, my live on my end, like, oh shit. Now it's vertical for me. Wow. Man, fuck Mercury. Sorry, I'm cursing. Can you guys even see? Let me try to get it in the center. This is ridiculous. Or let me just, oh, that actually looks great. Let me, yeah, that looks better. Wow, I can't believe Mercury's in retrograde. That's crazy. That makes so much sense. Even though I'm trying to stop being like a woo-woo believer, it just never fails. Most of it, but not where you're actually working. Okay, now that I'm seeing this, I switch to YouTube. It's way better. I'm gonna pin that comment. Literally. Oh, I can't even pin comments on here. Dude, whatever. Fuck Instagram. If you're here, just go watch it on YouTube if you're interested. Like, I'm so sorry. Instagram's got me like all heated. I'm literally sweating. Okay. Next time I'm just gonna do these on YouTube. I'm gonna just give up on Instagram, but I always just feel like my main platform is Instagram. So I try to like, show up on Instagram because I feel like, okay, that's where everyone is. But I don't think Riverside and Instagram are very compatible. Even though I love Instagram for like a lot of things, I just don't think it's compatible with what I'm doing right now. I do love it like for connecting in so many other ways though. I don't want Mark to hex me. Okay, this is so satisfying. Let's see if it's actually going in the skin properly. So we have it on. And now we are, let's see. Okay, yeah, it looks pretty cute, pretty good. Mercury isn't until November, but for other planets, all right, that's gonna be it. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the planets and not my complete inexperience with setting up a live stream. Because I'm gonna tell you, like, this is definitely my first time trying this setup. And like, I just, I don't like the audio when you go live on Instagram. I don't like the quality. Like, as a person that watches live streams all the time, I like good quality, I appreciate it. So I try to recreate it, but it's actually like a lot harder than the people make it look. So now that I laid these guys out, and that's why, in the classes you have it all recorded, it's nice, it's edited, and you don't have to watch like a full tattoo. You just get to watch the really, really nice stuff. So I always think if you aren't in the class, it's probably a good idea to join, because no matter what on social media, like no matter how good the trainer it is really hard to lay out the information in like an organized, digestible way. So this is the part you really don't want to rush. Again, you want it to be very neat, because if it's not neat, it just doesn't look good. You want to build value. So the closer together the dots are, the darker that area is going to be. And then the farther away the dots are, it's going to be lighter. So try to get a variation of gradients in there and leave some room. Like, I keep leaving room between the lines. Not everything has to be shaded. Like, you have to be really intentional about where the shading is going. And you can make little shapes around the mouth that hug the lines and go up a little bit. Okay. It's super blurry as a audience member. Like, it looks so blurry on the on Instagram, but in real life it looks so beautiful. Okay, let me get my music back because I'm literally dying. And I have nails under the gloves, so I always just use my nails to get all the things that I don't want to come off, to get them off. Okay, yay. So we have that first layer on. Now, I'm trying to think. I think I'm going to do his eyes and mouth with the 5. So instead of creating like a soft texture on that, I do want to go a little bit like faster and pack the color in, but also not like make it super solid. So let's see what that looks. Ooh, why is it like breathing? Scary. It has like a pulse. I never really appreciated though how like 5 pixels look. Like the little dots with the 5 round liner. I just never thought they looked good. But they don't look horrible either. But if you're gonna do like pixels and you're gonna take your time, just use a 3 because I think 3 round liner tattooing just looks really good. And you can do some cross hatching to get it in there, to get it in there really fast, you know? I know you guys are so jealous that like when I do things they actually work and when you do things they're not working right now because you're still starting out, but trust me, one day you're going to be able to use a tattoo machine like a coloring pencil and it just happens. It just happens. I can't explain it, but you just practice and then one day you just get comfortable. I do want the top of his eye to be a little bit darker. I'm also gonna, for anybody seeing this vertically on Instagram, because it like randomly switched for me, I will like zoom out a little bit for the people. And let's see, hopefully that looks a little bit better. And then maybe you can give some corners like a little bit darker. It doesn't all have to be the same value when you're adding shading. You don't have to make it all like super black. You can do the edges black and leave like some hollowness in the center if you want. I don't know why it's breathing. Okay, so for this part, I'm just gonna pack the corner of his eye and come out a little bit. Pack the other corner. And honestly, this isn't very different than the way I would tattoo a real person. So, silicone skin's much harder than tattooing a person. Like, people's skin is a lot more receptive. I would say, like, silicone is a lot more harder to tattoo. If you keep getting ink pooling like I am right now, just extend it a little bit more out. Okay. And just blend everything together. So now it's time to do the mouth. For the mouth, I do want it like darker than the eyes. So what I'm gonna do is tighten up my little packing technique a little bit. So all I'm doing is, it's literally same settings, same everything. All I'm doing is moving my machine a lot less in stride. So instead of like moving it like this, I'm moving like that. And so what this is gonna do is it's gonna give you a lot more solid of a color, like a lot quicker. So when I wipe, you're just gonna get like way more, see how much more black it looks than the eyes? Just tiny baby circles. I'm going at a 7.5. And what you want to do is like, don't go out of the edge a lot. You can't go to out of the edge at all, actually. You have to be very much so in control. And if you have these little like white spots, if you're trying to do a full blackout, you have to make sure that you get those too. And you have to always think like a tattoo's on someone forever, so you have to take your time. Trying to give his eyes like a glowing effect by keeping the center light and the edges super dark. But also, they have to blend because the effect doesn't work if it doesn't blend. Okay, I like that. He's looking spooky. How do you fill without tearing up the or overworked. Oh, how do you fill it without tearing up real skin? So on real skin, honestly, it would have filled like 3 years ago. It would have just filled so much. You're not going to tear up skin if you're working at the right depth. Even if you go over it like multiple times, if you're working at the right depth and you know what you're doing, you're not going to tear up skin. But the thing is, you need practice in order to do that. And so, like, that's why I always say start by doing simple tattoos and then work your way up. Don't take on tattoos with like a lot of shading and a lot of everything and like bigger pieces before you're able to understand like how that would even work on real skin. Because a lot of tattooing really isn't something like, even though I've been teaching this for 5 years, the best teacher is going to be how much you practice. He's looking stunning. Okay, so now it's the hat. You guys ready to do the hat? The hat's really fun because to me, fabric is much more fun than any other sort of texture. And I used to love fashion illustrating, so that kind of stuck with me. Now, there isn't much different, but let me tell you kind of what we're going to do. I like to imagine what the shadow looks like at first. So we'll start creating the ripples. A lot of tattooing really is just illustration fundamentals. So the better you are at illustrating, the better you'll be as a tattoo artist. Let me create this guy's hat though right here. And let's start giving him some. And then in order to darken it up, you can just go the other way. And then get the bottom done. What speed are you using? This is a 4.8 right now. I think there's enough people in here for me to try doing something really nerdy. So this is just between us, okay? It's not even that nerdy, but it's just I got excited. I want to show you something. So when I was messing with this like app today, I wanted to try this earlier, but I didn't have the chance. Look, I can do this. Is it working? Did you guys hear a clapping sound or no? Because I didn't hear it. Let me know if you heard clapping. I don't know. Did it work? Somebody said, I sent a pic of what I've got. I'm practicing with you. Thank you so much. I love that. I like doing this together. It's fun. I'm trying the sounds, but I don't know if they're working, damn it. Damn it, they're not working. Whatever. You know what? I have a lot to say to these streaming people. Whatever, you guys. I'm glad that no one was here except you to see that. Okay, let's do the metal. With metal, there's high contrast. So with the buckle, some parts have to be like super light, super dark, and they have to contrast with, so like any shiny object. So let's just make it look shiny. And we're not doing realism, so it doesn't have to look realistic, but it has to have some elements of what metal would do, you know? Why is it breathing? I don't get it. I've never had silicone like puff up at the area that I'm tattooing. Literally, this tattoo is scaring me. It's like alive. I'm practicing with you with the eyebrow sheets because I need more blank ones, but definitely enjoying this. Okay, I'm having so much fun too, you guys. I hope you guys can hear the jams I'm playing in the background. That's like my favorite kind of music. Maybe it's the micellar water that's making it like puff like that. Oh, by the way, if you guys are practicing, send me, like, somebody said they sent me their stuff that they're practicing, but yeah, take pictures and send it and like tag me. Actually, just tag me on Instagram so I could just repost. That would be really cool. I'm loving your shiny pink gloves. Thank you. Those are my favorite too. All right, let's get this hat work in. Honestly, once you like get the pendulum motion down, you're basically 50% done with learning how to do permanent makeup and literally fine line tattooing. Like once you get that simple motion down of being able to control your machine and lay in those dots, you're golden. You just have to keep practicing until you're able to have that control. And then you have to have an understanding of lighting. And I lay all that stuff out in the book that I made for the for in Lumino Heart Ink. I put so many secrets in that book. Let's see. Would you recommend taking a fundamental art class? Yeah, honestly, it's not gonna hurt you. It of course, like the better artist you are, the better tattoo artist you will be. Even if it's permanent makeup. Like the girls that are doing really good permanent makeup, they can draw. I literally stalk everybody. And the ones that are killing it put in time to understand like shapes, to understand lighting, to understand how things are supposed to look. Because you can't be like there, you know, it's not called a tattoo technician, it's called a tattoo artist, you know, because they can art. You have to know how to art before you know how to tattoo. You have to know how to art. That's funny. I know. Don't judge me. I crack myself up. I that's why I don't like going live for too long, because then my personality comes out and then people actually like find out I'm such a huge nerd. But whatever. Hey girl, Brow Love by Caro. What's good? This tattoo, honestly, did take a little bit longer than I thought it would. I was like, oh, this is easy. I can do that. But it's not too bad. I'm like having fun. But also, like, you see how a lot of these things are not stenciled in. They're just, I'm literally just improvising them. And with your clients, it's gonna happen. You're gonna do that. But having a really clean stencil always really helps. Amazed by your freehand skill. You're so nice. Thank you. I feel like everybody, even including me, like has imposter syndrome all the time. And even though I feel like sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I can do a lot of things. I think imposter syndrome is something that just never really goes away. Especially with art. You're never going to be like, oh yeah, no one can judge me. It's like, no, like, I don't know. I feel like with art, you can always get critiqued by somebody that's way better than you, and they can find like all your mistakes, even though like I'm the one that, you know, critiques my students' mistakes and kind of gets them on the right path. There's so many like insane artists out there that would critique, and then there's somebody more amazing than them, and then like there's never really like the most amazing artist ever. It's just like everyone has a different technique. But I think it's all about mimicking life. So the better you get at like understanding the way the sun shines its light on all the world's objects, you just become a better artist. And honestly, I think a big part of becoming a better artist and always learning is just like genuinely being interested, like just being interested in the way things are, and like looking at things from an artful perspective, and like really paying attention to what's going on around you, and you pick up from all that and it shows in your tattoos. Okay, his little hat is coming together. I do want to give him more shadows like underneath his big pumpkin head. You know, this literally feels like art class right now. I feel like this silicone skin owes me money. Like, pay for your tattoo, bitch. Okay, let's give... I'm trying to give, like, the edges or the sides a little bit more shadow. And let's give his nostrils some more love, because I kind of just... All I did was go over them, so let's just kind of... Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay, now we got his hat. For his hat, I think I'm gonna, again, kind of do the same thing where I'm laying in the lines. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure that... Let me actually put some paper towels underneath so it stops bubbling up. It's driving me nuts. Okay, it's still doing this packet thing. Okay, so we have to like pay attention to these lines over here and kind of go off of them. So it's going, I would say this is coming out. And this is, so every time the ripple goes in like that, that means like there's more light there. And every time it goes back out, you shade that in. You see how it already looks like a fold? So again, it's going in and then going back out. So that tells me this whole area is dark. So we're just gonna follow that line we created and the way the light would hit it. So this area is gonna be the darkest. And you just kind of have to trust your first instinct on it. And I do want the hat to generally like be all shaded. So this area, there's nothing really going on. And then you have a big sort of outgoing thing. Like, so it's going in and then light is hitting this area and going out. So what we're gonna do is something like that. And then make that the dark ripple. And actually, that's the light ripple. This is a dark ripple, and then this is a light ripple. And then this would be another light ripple. So we have some of that going on. If anybody understands what that is. And then over here, because it's like all the fabric is scrunched together, it's generally gonna be just darker. So it is fair to just lay in a pretty consistent color and then just work your way up from there if you want. But it is generally gonna be darker. I'm gonna lay in the edges. So basically with tattooing is like you have the motion down, which is a pendulum motion, but everything else depends on your art skills. He looks so cute. He's making me want to watch like a Halloween movie. And then for the very top of his hat, Cutie Shay, hey BB, how you doing? Happy birthday, my dear Virgo friend. I did freehand this, so my ripples are different, but I like it. Yay! Yours honestly looks pretty good. I freehanded mine too. You know, I kind of copied yours. I looked at it, and I was really excited to tattoo it because I liked your design. I think you did a great job. And honestly, you didn't make so many mistakes. Like you, so I was like, okay, if I correct this, it's gonna be easy because I'm not correcting like everything. I'm just kind of doing it in a way where the lighting is a little bit more controlled. So like I think you did a great job. I just feel like just if you spent maybe like an hour longer on it, would have turned out a little bit better. So I switched out the 5 to do the top of the hat. And I'm gonna just make this part of it like a lot darker. Let's get some more micellar water on this guy. I think the micellar water is actually making it like breathe or something. I don't know if you guys see it puffing up like so cool. But I've never seen that happen before. For the shading, if you wanted to go by a little bit faster, you can pump up your speed a little bit since we're using that 5 again. And I want to pack it just a little bit faster, so... So we got that in. Now we're just I'm gonna get some of these ripples a little bit darker in there. Maybe give this guy an edge. So I'm gonna be creating a little bit more movement with that bigger needle on that higher speed to get, so that it's not all like, what's it called? What's the word? Flat. So we're just adding contrast. Because the higher contrast, the prettier the tattoo. Like, I think all tattooing needs to be high contrast. I know, girl, we all do. It's okay. Like, being a girl is hard. But yeah, you see how that contrast already is starting to give it a lot more life. So just, you have to make sure that you're working. I'm kind of working with a light source, but I'm also just winging it at the same time. his hat is starting to hat. Okay, let's build the top up a little bit more. And then what you can do to keep that whole contrast thing going is leave like between the line and the shading, leave some white space just for fun. It looks good. And then if it doesn't, you can always just delete it and black it out. But it typically doesn't fail. And then you can break the white too. Just shade it a little bit. You guys, he's looking so cute. I can't. I hate him. I want to name him. Okay, let's see. I'm making the bottom of his hat a little bit darker so that that metal buckle like stands out a little bit. All right, let's do a final, not a final, let's just see what the hat looks like. I don't know. I can like work on a tattoo for not forever, but I feel like I can like build it up as much as I want and just spend as much time on it as I want. So let's see if I feel like I'm done. I usually finish a tattoo when like I feel like I'm done, you know? But I do want to spend more time. I feel like I can spend like a lot more time on the hat actually, but I don't want this live to be like 1,000 years, but I am also having fun. But I also don't want you guys to think I'm crazy, like, oh my god, why is she tattooing on a Friday night and not going out like a cool girl? Well, I just want to say I went out yesterday, okay? I don't have a normal human being schedule. And that's what this beauty of this industry is about, okay? That's why you're learning to do this so that you can have your own schedule. And when you're so cool, you're going to avoid going out on the people days, which are Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. Those are the days that you're going to like avoid the people. That's what I do. And then on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those are the days I like enjoy empty grocery. Actually, I don't go grocery shopping. I just get like everything delivered. But I don't know. I enjoy the world when it's empty a lot more because why not have the entire road to yourself? And when you're a tattoo artist, that's it. You just make your schedule to avoid the people if you're like me. But you don't have to be like antisocial. You can also be like a cool person. This is why I can't go live for a long time. Me too. Oh, okay, cool. Yay. People are like me. We're all weird together. That's great. I love that. You know, I do love the community in this industry. I feel like it is very different. Like, I worked at Chase before I worked at any creative job. I was a teller, and I was on my way to getting like what do you call it? An MBA or whatever. I really thought that I wanted the corporate life, but then I dropped out because I fucking hated everyone. Like, no offense if you ever hear this and you worked with me. I don't think there's a single person that I worked with that I like actually enjoyed talking to in the corporate life that I had for a very brief period when I was younger. And I was like, you know what? I never want to talk to these people ever again. And I'm so glad tattooing is a thing because Yeah. Am I a hater? Maybe. Am I justified? Absolutely. Okay, his hat is looking a little bit better. You're like, she's different than her classroom. She's different right now. Yeah, this is actually like, I'm being a little bit more comfortable with you guys right now. I'm not putting on my professional face. You can only be professional, I would say, like 2 hours out of 12 hours as an artist. And then you just crash out. That's it. You're like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta take my heels off. Where's the sandals? And you just get in the flats. Yeah, being professional all day is like being in heels all day. No one wants that. And if you, like, I don't think any female actually enjoys that. I like being in heels, but like only for 2 hours. Okay, and then like, if you want, if you have something that looks like this and you want to clean it up just a little bit, what you do is put on the 3-round liner and get some like baby dots in there just to kind of clean things up and give it like a more polished look, because shading with the 5-round liner, it's never a happy place. Like, I don't know, it's never like so nice. It's a little nice, but it's never like beautiful. So put on the 3-round liner and give it some more love. You guys were almost done, but I had so much fun. I didn't think this live would go like this. I thought I'd finish this guy in like 5 minutes, but I have ADHD, so, and I also have obsessive like tendencies, so if I'm doing something, like I get obsessed with it a little bit. I'm like, no, this has to be perfect. And I think that's a good thing if you're like a tattoo artist, you know, you want to be like that. You want to like kind of obsess over it and be like, "Oh no, like I can't say this is done if it's not done." But I had fun and I feel like you guys are practicing too, so this was like a way to connect. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to edit this now. I did all this fancy equipment. I don't know, we'll see. I might just post it as it is and whoever wants to watch can watch, but that's not nice. I don't think this would make good content. Maybe snippets. We'll see. So I'm breaking some of the whites cuz you can't have like super white whites if it's not like a shiny metal, you know? It's like fabric, so it's not going to shine that hard. But you also want to keep some contrast because if it doesn't have any contrast, it starts to look worse. Sometimes overworking it looks worse than leaving it alone. But I did want this hat to look like he has like, you know, a dark or a gray or a black hat on. So it's all right. But you know, the only thing I don't like about it right now is that like the black up here is, I did definitely want it to be black, but I wanted to blend a little bit more with the rest of it because it doesn't make sense. I just kind of, I don't know, I shade with my heart sometimes. And sometimes it doesn't make sense. But that's why practice is good, because then your gut feeling gets like better at doing its job, whatever it does. Because I really do draw with my gut feeling. Like I'm like, okay, this goes here, this goes here. And maybe I think it's my gut feeling, but it's like past experience or past drawing experience. So the more you practice and the more you look at like really good illustrators do things, you just innately like know where things go. You don't really think about it though. Like I wouldn't say that like me drawing is a thinking process. I'm not thinking a lot. I just do it because it feels right. So it's kind of hard to explain that, you know, as a teacher, but I would say that feeling really is going to come from you practicing. You're just going to keep feeling things better and better. You're just going to keep feeling like, oh, this needs to go here. You're going to have the right instincts. You guys, ChatGPT told me that I have an accent. Man, whatever. Sometimes I'm like, I can't pronounce something. I'm like, oh, there goes my, there it's showing that I'm bilingual. It's showing. Do you guys notice that in the classes that like English is definitely not my first language? Does it show? Or is it just something I'm paranoid about? Because I don't feel like I have like a huge accent, but I feel like you can tell if you can tell. Okay, you see the hat looks so much better now that I blended it. Just needed a little bit more attention. And that's why I get so kind of like, I get a little mad when people take the class and they submit something that took them like 2 seconds. And I'm like, girl, like, why did you spend money on the class if you don't want to practice, you know? Just actually get your money's worth. Like, you def have an accent. Oh my God, go away. It's okay though. It's because you're from Boston. Wait, you're from Connecticut. So you probably just think I have a Michigan. Do I have a Middle Eastern accent is what I'm asking. Not like a Michigan accent. Like an Arabic accent, you know? Like, oh, like, I don't know, like a not English kind of accent. Because somebody from the UK the other day told me I have an accent, and I'm like, no, you have an accent. Like, you have an accent, not me. But I guess everyone has an accent. That's a stupid question to ask. BB, I love your accent. I love when people are from like New York or Boston or like anywhere from the upper East Coast or Maine. It just sounds so like badass. No, I'm deaf from New York, baby, but I live in Connecticut now, but I will never say I'm from here. You know what? To me, you're a New Yorker. That's why it was my first like initial thought that you're from New York. Because you have a New York accent and you act like a New Yorker. You have the New York confidence. I have a lot of family from New York, and I'm like, I wish my parents moved there, but my parents ended up coming here, which honestly wasn't a bad thing. Okay, I think this guy is like coming together. The only thing I will say, because he's wearing a hat, so, oh my God, it's like fully turning now. My cellar water is like eating the silicone. But because he's wearing a hat, I would say like there needs to be more darkness under like on his head, because it has to look like it's leaving a shadow. So I'm gonna just add that, and then I will get off. He's cute. I know. Isn't he like adorable? What should I name him? I kind of don't like him though. I don't know why. You know when you just don't like somebody? I'm just joking. I'm not. That doesn't happen often. I usually know why I don't like somebody. Okay, so for the shadow, I'm just gonna sort of actually leave like draw a line. And then just color the line. Remember that Halloween pumpkin you tattooed on a real pumpkin? That was like, oh my God, yes. It's that time of year where you can tattoo your pumpkins, you guys. Like if you've never tattooed a pumpkin, it's very fun. I probably should do that again. Every year I post a tattoo pumpkin video. It's that I already have some like spooky material like content lined up, but I haven't posted it yet because it's not October yet. But yeah, every year I try to tattoo a pumpkin at the studio, and like we kind of put them up, but you see, okay, I gave him a little shadow. You gave her eyebrows. That's funny. You see how it looks so much like sitting on his head now? All I did was draw a line underneath and like fill it in. And you can make that shadow as dark as you want. I think I'm going to make it a tiny bit darker. I love his hat. His name is Tommy. He looks like a Tommy, or maybe I'm just excited for Force to come back on the Stars app. Oh, you know what? I don't know what that is. The Stars app? What is that? Okay, let's see. Darkened up that shadow a little bit. Okay. I think this boy is done. I just don't know what happened to the sheet. I really don't know what the... You guys, have you ever seen this? I guess don't use my cellar water, because now you know. It, like... I don't know what it does to the silicone, but it makes it, like... It changes its form somehow. Crazy. Uses more of it. I have no other choice, you guys. I have to use this. Use Glide. Glide is my favorite. It would never do this to you. I know. I told you this tattoo's like literally creeping me out. Okay, so this is how he turned out. Let me try to show him to you. He's so cute. Okay, so what we did here, and I'll show you the difference. Let me lower the music a little bit. Okay. So this is my students' work, and this was like the inspiration that I wanted to basically critique. Let me actually turn off the music because it's distracting me. You guys are probably like, wow, she runs on like 2 gigs. I do run on 2 gigs. Like I can't get overstimulated or I lag. So I was lagging. Okay, there we go. So this is my student's work, and she really did do a great job. That's why I wanted to grade this assignment, because there wasn't like so many critical mistakes, but the overall design is good. She did say she free-handed it. So I just kind of wanted to take it and show you what it looks like if it was sort of, let's see if that works. If it was like a little bit more attention to detail. So I kind of shaded the hat. I paid attention to like not hollowing out, like not creating super black areas, just kind of like giving the eyes like a glow effect. Just kind of like paying attention to the texture. I do think it looks a lot lighter because of it's actually not that light. I'm trying to. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I tried to just kind of give, I think that I could go a little bit darker around here, but I also think that the light here, let me turn off the light because you can't really see. Hold on. Okay, that looks so much better. There was like a huge bright light behind the camera. Can we submit practice even if we finish the course? I want to keep submitted practice for more feedback. So if you got your certificate, like typically there's no more then it's like you're done, but you can always like DM me. Okay. Is it focusing? Okay, yeah, it's focusing now. Like I definitely think I can like work on the texture around the mouth and that would amplify it. I don't think that I am completely done with it. I also think that keeping some areas like light and some areas dark, just kind of on skin, you want to keep that contrast because if you overwork it, it generally looks worse than if you worked less. So I am going to keep some areas like that light. The only thing I will say is like with here, these don't look bad. Like her taste doesn't look bad as far as placement. It's just like getting your technique good enough to where you don't have a lot of like, zigzaggies or like any unintentional lines like over here, like maybe some scratch like looking lines where you kind of want everything to look placed properly, especially if you are going to specialize in fine line tattooing. You want to be like super intentional with the way things look, because I would say this would fall under like the dainty fine line, like tattoo. It's kind of like subtle. The art style is super airy, where I think a lot of people do try to like establish this style with their clients, because I think that's kind of what sells in the market right now. Everybody wants a fine line tattoo, and it is a fine line tattooing class. So even though me and her are using like the same needles, she's using the 3-round liner. It's just the technique of like knowing where to place the light, where to like, properly place everything. And the class does go over all this stuff, but it's just a matter of like, putting in the effort, making sure and I can work harder on this. Obviously, I can do another hour and like really build it up and make it like really, really cool. But it really is all about the attention you're going to give the tattoo and building it up to the point where like it looks finished to you. And it's all about too like flipping this guy around and getting like all the technique down. So like before you can do any type of design, just practicing and getting your lines down on here is super essential. So we did practice. This live went on for so long. I am surprised that let me oh my god, I'm so zoomed in right now. Let me zoom out. I'm scaring everybody. I'm scaring the clients, the students. Hold on, let me get out of here. You guys probably got to see like how red my eyes are right now. Okay. We are here. Yeah, you guys, I can't believe you're still here. Like, we're best friends now. We're literally basically drawing buddies at this point because we spent a Friday night together. I mean, what kind of online instructor is going to do that, No one. Just me. And that's why this is the best place to be, right? Because I love what I do and you love what you do and we're here together and it is great. Okay, so this little guy is done. I'm going to take pictures of him and probably finish him, honestly, off the live because I'm not super happy with him, but he's good enough for now. I hope you guys learned something. And I know that, like, for whoever was in here practicing, of course you learned stuff just because like you were applying your time towards the skill, and that always pays off. And even if you were just listening and you felt like you had a good time, I had a great time too. This was really fun, you guys. Do you have any questions before I hop off? I'm kind of like addicted right now. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed my time. Like I was so stimulated in the right way. I hope that you feel the same way. Like, oh my God, we got to spend time together. Yes, love this. Thank you. I love this too. Thank you for being here. I'm definitely getting my money's worth out of the streaming service. They recorded 2 hours. I'm uploading all of it. I don't even care. I'm happy I caught you. I know, BB. I'm so happy I caught you too. Definitely motivation to keep going. Hell yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna go take my makeup off and like think about my setup and think about how I can make the setup even better for next time. Because this was nice, but I really had high hopes for the streaming thing that I'm trying out, and I tested it all day, and this is the best I can get it for today. But hopefully next time it's even better. So bye guys. Thank you so much for practicing with me. And if you have any questions, just DM me. Okay, how do I even end this? No problem. Oh my God, it was not trash. Don't say that. Okay, I figured out how to end it. Bye.